is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Most y'all hear me say bad about you, it's going to be in your face.
Hey, it's Monday.
Ooh.
And this is a weird day.
I tell you what.
What?
I'm fired up.
This is a weird week.
Cowboys outside practicing 2 days in a row.
I think I saw
cold weather.
I saw QB1 with some gloves on during practice. I'm pretty sure.
Do we need a bucket of wet balls?
Don't quote me on that, but I think I did.
Yes, sir. Things are looking up for the Dallas Cowboys.
It's a weird week because we're 4 days removed from football, yet this is our first show. And then we only have two shows before the next game. Today, tomorrow, we travel on Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, so we're not doing the show Wednesday?
No show Wednesday or Thursday.
Hold on,
no shows.
Hold on. You can't make it way. Us three can
I
feed.
can, but my boss told me no shows. So if you want to text Mr. Eagleton and say,
I'm saying you the closest thing to the boss in this house. Though.
He's the boss. So.
But I'm saying you the closest thing to the boss, though. You sat next to the man.
Next door, yeah. Next door. In the doghouse.
I hear you,
in
man.
the doghouse. So we don't really know what to do today because I really don't want to talk about that Bills game. So
let the fans roll.
Let's call us 888-855-2297.
And the number we gonna get rid of.
Look at the colors Nate got on today.
You got the Giants colors, Patriots colors,
Bills colors on.
Bills
I got
colors.
on every color that the Eagles can possibly play and lose to.
I tell you what, I did like those Bills uniforms though. Those look pretty sharp on
classic,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
They look good. All right. So while we wait on calls, let's just go around.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say let's go around the room and
Let me
just
go first.
give our thoughts of the game, and then we're gonna move on.
Because I'm going to tell you.
Just thoughts on the game,
I want to
and then
give
move on.
thanks to Cole Beasley. I didn't eat no barbecue sauce this week because of you. Thank you. That's it. That's all I had to say.
That's all you got to say.
That's all I got to say.
Jesse, what were your thoughts on the game?
Oh, my God. Don't do it, Jesse.
Listen,
Me and you are the only two that picked the Bills to win on the show.
They didn't win. They cheated.
I can't get in no more trouble, y'all.
I hear you, man.
If y'all want me to be around here a little bit longer, at least until 2020,
Okay.
All right, Kurt, what'd you think about
don't
that?
let me get in no more trouble. Y'all supposed to be my brothers, my friends.
We got you. No.
Don't save me from myself.
No, just tell us what your overall
I was
thoughts
disappointed.
were.
Yes, very disappointing.
I was disappointed from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I sure didn't think
Good
the Bills.
thoughts. Good thoughts.
I didn't think they'd run over them like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't totally shocked they lost, but I didn't think they'd beat them like that.
It was just, to me, that was just one of the worst games they've had all the way around, and it couldn't have come at a worse time because you'd heard the talk all week about the coaching staff and all this, and I really thought during the game, I was like, man, we're going to have to work this weekend because they getting rid of some folks. And then right after the game, they came out and said, hey, basically we're going to go win this thing. So I don't know. I'm with you guys. I was really disappointed, and that was the first time I'd ever seen there was about 5.5 minutes left in the game and the stands cleared out. There was probably 75% of the crowd was
So that
gone.
was true. I got information, too, as the game we was up watching the game, and I got a little thing saying with 6 minutes left to say, you can't believe how empty.
Yeah.
And they didn't show it on TV. I guess that ain't good for ratings, but that is true.
Yeah,
man.
and it's probably a combination of things. They were getting beat. They weren't coming back. It was Thanksgiving. People probably had family time.
Yeah.
That's the first time I visibly looked up and saw, like, wow, the fans, like, left the stadium. Usually they hang out, party, and do all that stuff. So
what are you guys' thoughts? There was this whole, at the end of the game in the locker room, there was this heated talk, speech, yell. I don't know what it was to say, to be certain.
Motivational.
But this motivational whatever. From what I'm hearing is Michael Bennett. What do you guys think about that?
As a player, Jesse, I wish I could have got that at halftime or before the game. But once you do that at the end of a game, then I go home and
Does it resonate though? Will players buy into that for
Only
whatever reason?
only the real players, only the guys that have been giving you that great effort.
The guys who probably don't need it anyway.
Yeah.
My question is, like, if as a player, and I don't know, obviously didn't play, so I ask you
But
guys.
you played sports, and
Right.
you tried to be. If you try to be the best you could always be, no matter whether you A, B, or C, if you've always given the best you could give, that's what I tell people. You can call me fat all you want, but when we line up between them numbers, whatever was in front of me had to go all day. Mm-hmm. So, and Jesse, you asked that great question. Before you go, what were your thoughts as a professional player once you heard that type of emotion go on?
A little too late. A little too late for me. And then who it was coming from.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you have a problem with the guy that's only been on the team for 3 weeks? If you're going to have that, shouldn't that be from your guys that need to step up and need others to step up?
You would think so, but no one on this team really understands what winning is. Michael Bennett actually won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's been deep into the playoffs. He's been to the promised land in the terms of what you won in the football. A lot in his career.
Yeah.
So if you would want it to, you would think like, man, you would think it would be Jason Witten or Jalen Smith, but then you start thinking to yourself and saying, Jason will wear and will don a yellow jacket one day. That's a fact. We all agree on that, right?
Right.
He doesn't know what it means to be deep in the playoffs. 15-year historic career.
Sad.
He doesn't know what it means. He doesn't know what it takes. He doesn't know what it takes to win a Super Bowl. In the sense of, he says, the magic in the dirt or the whatever's in the dirt. Mm-hmm. He has no clue. He's never been. And I'm not saying that to shade him. I'm saying as your most veteran guy on this football team, your most, the guy with the most accolades and who we all will say will be a first ballot Hall of Famer when he hangs it up. For the speech to come from Michael Bennett, this is a guy who knows what the DNA is or takes or you need to get to the promised land. Mm-hmm. So I was disappointed that it came from him, but I understood it in the grand scheme of things because, Jason or Sean or Dak or all those guys can yell and say, man, we could be better, we should be this, None of those guys know what it really takes to get to a Super Bowl.
Good point.
Do you think there's any follow-up then? He had the big speech after the game, but then when they came in for that next practice on, I guess it would have been Saturday, do you think there was follow-up? Do you think, or should there have been, like, hey, now's the time, we've got to kick it into gear or whatever? Or do you think it was just dropped and that was that?
You've heard me say on this very show, when we were losing, Coach Johnson, he always should hold on to that feeling. Let me say this. You can only speak to winners. Winners are the only ones that hear. And I'm being honest. And your record your record may not, we don't know who Jesse is as a team, but we know him as a human. Same with you, Kurt, same with you. Winners listen. Winners can hear, especially when it makes sense for them to take next steps. In your locker room, you will see who cares by the end of this season. You can watch individual players say, yeah. And you can watch some individual players. Now, don't get me wrong now. I know some players. When I played, when we were losing, you be like, wow. But when we winning, they got such talent. So you be like, man, he really into it. Those are guys you can't depend on. But if they don't get where they need to go, and we all know where everybody want them to be, but you should, with the help of Philadelphia not wanting to win, you should. This should be no problem, man.
No problem.
This should be
no problem to get into the playoffs?
Yeah, to win.
Oh, to win. Okay.
Yeah, to win. This should be no problem. Minnesota was the game for me. I ain't backing up off of that. Minnesota told me all I needed to know. But now, to prove me wrong or to prove me right with some guys, they just got to finish the season. What did you think last week, even before the
Thanksgiving game, Michael Irvin had said, I want to see somebody get angry to let me know that winning a Super Bowl is engrafted in their spirit, and they're not on that path right now. It's not acceptable to them. That's what kind of gets under my skin. He was sort of calling out the players for not having the same type of passion, which sounds like what Bennett was doing as well.
What Jesse been saying all year, what you've said at certain times, what he iterated. If you believe that this team is talented, if you really believe that this team is talented, you would see that in their play. And not everybody, because it used to be pieces. You see, okay, no matter what happened. See, and I give you an example. Since this guy is global, the United States ain't the world, but I call it my world. Michael Irvin, did you ever question when we was 1-15, 3-13? Did you ever question Michael Irvin?
Mm-hmm.
Never. You never questioned Troy, even though we was letting him get beat to death and signed him into early retirement, as because the offensive line wasn't good always. You never questioned that. You never questioned Emmitt. You never. But some guys, when you look at him, you be like, man, do he really care? Because a coach wasn't going to take Emmitt out of the game. A coach wasn't going to take Michael Irvin out of the game. A coach wasn't going to take Troy Aikman out of the game. They wasn't having it, man.
And see, and that's the thing is, do you have enough Michaels, Emmitts, Troys that are leading this team that people want to follow? Now, I'm not saying those positions are specific. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying enough people on this team like that people want to follow, that can go out there and be the example week in, week out, day in, day out, when you're 3-0 or when you're 6-6 after a bad loss, right? Like those are the things that you have to look at for this team. The biggest thing for this team, they lack mental toughness. There is a huge lack of mental toughness on this football team, and we'll get deeper into it. But let's hit some of these.
I think it was
phone calls.
Let me say this: Michael Irvin rookie year or his second year. We was playing as a Washington Redskin, Darryl Green, Hall of Famer. And we had been teasing Mike all week, man, D Green on you. Mike Irvin said, man, he said, Nate, he ain't big enough. I ain't saying he ain't good enough or he ain't athletic enough, and I don't know what he can do. But Mike had in his mind when he looked at Darryl Green, he ain't big enough. I can't outrun him. I know he's a world-class sprinter in the 60 meters, but he ain't big enough. And we went to that game, and all he told me, I think Mike went off. Like, he had a great game. And I looked at the game. He looked at me. We both had our little beards back on the plane. I said, yeah, I guess he wasn't big enough. I think we lost the game, but that dude there wasn't big enough. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's go to the phones. Antoine in Maryland. What's up, man?
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, man?
I had a good holiday. I'm not going to talk about the Bills for real because I've been over it since Green Bay. But I got a good one for y'all. All right. I'm kind of on the fence with Jason Garrett. You know what I mean? I think we need something else, but at the same time, I'm a little hesitant because since he's been there, we have drafted very well and built great teams. Now, if he leaves, how is that going to change the way we draft and stuff? Like, how much credit does it go to him or Will McClay or Jerry Jones? You know what I mean?
It don't, because they draft as a team.
Yeah,
and
good question.
They don't. They draft as a committee. They say it all the time. They drafted the committee. I think if Will did all the drafting, I think it would be better. I think if Will had the biggest say in this draft, I think it'd be better. You know, I really do. Him and Mr. Steven, let them do most of the drafting. You know.
Let's go back to the phones. Our good buddy that we actually got to meet in person last week. Well, I've already met him in person, but you guys got to meet him. Got to hang out outside the show. G from Jersey. What's up, man?
G.
Hey.
What's up, fellas? What's going on, man? A little down, Family, we definitely have a good time at the game, but it was a pleasure meeting all you guys, man.
You too, man.
thank you for spending time with us, and the tour group actually thought I was part of it.
You all right, dog? But your little girl is what impressed me, man. So
listen, man,
I'm just saying.
You was a little upset, man, because you ain't giving one of them sticky buns, man.
Hey, let me tell you this. I'm glad you brought that up.
G, man, so your daughter was lovely, man. You got a beautiful wife,
Here's how this went down.
G, how
okay?
you get fortunate like that, man, to have a family?
Hey, Kyle, turn Nate's mic off for just a second. Here's what happened. So my mom was gracious enough to bring pralines and this other chocolate candy and this whole pan full of cinnamon. You got your mic turned on. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Great. So Nate says, hey, give me the rest of them. I'm going to bring them upstairs. Where's the microwave? We said that we got one up in the break room or there's one in the kitchen. He said, I'll go upstairs. I'll follow y'all. I'll meet y'all upstairs. So he takes like 4 or 6 that are left. Everybody else is coming in, grabbing them. There's like 4 left
part of our show.
for me and Nate. So we go out in the hall. We talk to you and the tour group and everything. Nate's like, I'll meet y'all upstairs. We all leave. Me and Kurt go upstairs. Nate disappears. He took all of my mom made these and brought these to me. And then he proceeds to text me all weekend as he's eating them going, these sure are good. Wife sure is enjoying hers while she's getting ready for Christmas.
You didn't get one.
I didn't get one. And he's saving
one in the corner.
You can turn his mic back on.
We got one in the corner. We're going to let it get hard.
He's saving it just to taunt me.
So I'm going to take a picture.
He's going to let it get hard and then bring it up here so I can eat it. How wrong is that?
Hey, man, Kurt had a couple too, man. Even saw how big Nate was. Then she went over to Kurt, man, and Kurt tightened up his grip too, man. I said, dang.
I'm sorry. Man. I should have shared him.
No, okay. Man. But, hey, Jesse ended up going to Sweet Georgia Browns, brother, off the bone ribs, baby.
Good, man.
I didn't go to Pecan Lodge, man. But, listen, man, I got a question for you guys, man. At the game, I just saw there was a change of pace after the Cowboys' first series, where during the first possession, Zeke had asserted himself. That running game had asserted himself, which opened up the passing game. And just going back and doing a little bit of research, the Bills' run defense, was ranked, I think, 19th or 20th in the NFL. I just want to ask one question, 1 or 2 questions is, why do you guys think we went away from what worked in the first series? And then the second question is, for some reason the NFL put us through the gauntlet over the last 4 or 5 weeks with, a certain amount of games and a certain amount of days. Do you guys think that the players may have been fatigued? And how many dogs do we have on the team, man? Because for some reason it looked like the Bills were just tougher than us, man. But, guys, thank you, and I'll let you guys go. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man. Which one y'all want to take first?
We got show dogs. We got show dogs.
Just you know what, man? Just don't say that because the New York thing was on this past week.
The
Westminster.
We got show dogs.
Was it?
Yeah. We got show dogs.
Big dog, what's up?
We got show dogs.
He ain't a show dog. My boy Frederick is a bulldog. He gone.
Yeah.
We got show dogs. We got some. Remember, Philip Tanner stopped by with us last week and talking about we had a group called Alley Dogs. Just the grimiest of the dogs.
Yep.
Right.
We got a couple of those, but we got a lot of show dogs. The ones that at the Westminster Dog Show. They're high priced, and they look good, and they're good quality, good pedigree. But they ain't alley dogs. They ain't the kind that's going, bite you in the butt, tear your limb off. We don't have none of those. We don't have enough of those. So to answer the question, we got dogs. A lot of them are show dogs. A lot of them want to look pretty in a uniform and all that other kind of stuff. But when it come down to the come down, like Nate said, that guy across from me, he gonna know he was in for a fight. Mm-hmm. I don't think guys, when they get done with us, they don't feel like they were in a fight. Yeah, we scuffled a little bit, but you wasn't in a fight. You wasn't in a battle, a war, and that could be a part of the problem too.
What about the game plan? Did y'all have a problem with the game plan on Thursday?
We used to Elliott.
2 carries?
First quarter, he had 8 carries for 56 yards.
And the rest of the game, 4.
4 for like 15.
I am not going to lie. When they went for it on fourth on their own 19, I was like, they're going to beat the hell out of these guys. They are throwing the game plan out the window that we've seen. This is not Coach Garrett. This is a different mentality. And then that was it for scoring.
Panicked.
I like
panicked.
This ain't about burst. This ain't about whether you got heart. This is about totally, I believe, you got to find a way where Amari Cooper's going to always get 10 or more targets. You got to find a way for Zeke to touch the ball a minimum of 23 times, pass or run. You got to find a way for Blake Jarwin to have some difference making in this deal, and you got to, and then Michael Gallup, Cobb, because I'm naming a tight end that can run up the seam. I'm naming a wide receiver that can do it all, short, medium, and long. I'm doing a running back who I think can do it all. Now you have to find a way to make sure that these people at the right time in the flow of the game. See, I don't know if our young offensive coordinator has developed that flow for the game yet, and so I'm not going to criticize him. That's too easy. But we have a veteran head coach, and we have other people around him that has been in the wars and should be able to kind of help him be directed. I believe that. You just can't hang him out. You know, you just can't hang a dude for the first time ever. You know, you got, as a coach, you know, Belichick, Parcells, run it. You know, he see a rhythm, he feel a rhythm. Run this ball. Jimmy, if he felt, if you got anything that in your playbook where we can run this thing, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the way the old school dudes do it, maybe it's the wrong way to do it. But if you want to be successful in this league, it's a passing league, and you're going to have to be able to throw the ball for touchdowns, for everything, for chunk yard. You're going to have to be able to throw the ball. But the better teams in this league are always going to have some semblance of a run game. And at the end of the year, when you accumulate all the yards, they ran the ball more than we thought. And it may not look like it, but they wind like, wow, they ran the ball more than we thought. So I ain't saying Zeke got to be featured, but he has to have a place in this offense. And Amari has to be featured. He has to be. Now, Jess, I need your opinion on this.
I agree.
Your conspiracy theory is looking better and better, isn't it?
Every day. Every day.
I see why Zeke wanted that money earlier. He saw the writing on the wall. Zeke said, let me get my money now because I see the way this playbook going and how he calling plays in the spring and the summer. Nah. They about to X me out of this thing, and I won't be worth nothing at the end of this season.
You brought it up. You said they panicked. Let's talk about that a little bit when we come back. Got a couple of guys on hold. We'll get to your calls. Take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Hanging with the Boys.
The Cowboys Way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Copyright 2019, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience AT&T Stadium's exclusive VIP Owners Club. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheered.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One score September 2019.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Underwear, Kurt.
Underwear. Tailgating can be sweaty work. The unloading, the grilling, the games of cornhole. Make sure your tail remains sweat-free with Tommy John, the breathable, moisture-wicking underwear that keeps you 2 to 3 times cooler. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order.
Go get you some. Mm-hmm. All right. We go for our next call to the motherland, Louisiana.
Jersey.
The town of Shreveport. Fisher, how are you?
Fine, and you guys?
Great, man.
I just have a couple of points. By the way, great show.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right. First and foremost, can they make a rule about jersey swapping? Can they do that in the town after a loss? And second of all, can they? Do you coach? Is pocket awareness coachable? Because that's the only problem I see with that. Other than that, I mean, he'll be a great quarterback. And thirdly, I finally put my finger on it. We don't have no step-up leadership on this team. If we were down like that at home, it don't matter what game it was back in the days, somebody will be on Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Charles Hader will be in somebody's face and not let this just play out like that. Y'all hit it on the head earlier. I'm going to shut up. Nate, love you. Holly, love you. Kurt, good health. And thanks for taking my call.
What about? Wow,
I love you too. I love you too, Fisher. I mean, you from my home state. I can't even get no love from my home state.
He took the honey bun away from you.
I love you too, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the call. You know what? I bet it is aggravating if you're a fan, especially if you're an old school fan.
For real.
When these guys get out after the game and you get your butt beat and then you're laughing and you're swapping. Now, there's some guys don't do it. Some guys go straight to the locker room. They don't want none of that mess. I've seen a couple of guys that have done it maybe once in 6-7 years, and that's usually if you're a legendary player and they are too, but I bet that is aggravating. But let's go to, well, it goes back to the thing you talked about earlier, leadership.
I'm going to tell this here, man. I'm going to say this one more time, y'all.
Say it.
I'm going to say it. Amari Cooper has to have 10 or more targets. Zeke has to have a minimum of 23 touches. You know, because I am adding Tony Pollard to the mix because he is a good receiver. So he has to have those extra 3 or 4 touches to get him to 30 as a backfield. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Blake Jordan has to come to life. I don't know why he don't play. I ain't blaming it on no Jason Witten. Why he don't play? Because I found out something about one of my other players I love. But anyway, he and then Michael Gallup and Cobb, when needed, has to show up. Those are next group of guys that we depend on. They have to show up.
Let me ask you this on Fisher's point of no leadership. You can have a championship team without having vocal, outspoken leaders, can't you? I mean, can't you have guys that lead by example that are
rare.
leaders? You just don't hear about it.
It's rare. It's rare.
But what he said was, you know, back in the day, you had guys like Mike who would get up in your face and all. Those days are gone, fellas. Like that ain't the way the system works anymore. That's not the way the system works. These younger guys, they don't take that as constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
They when you yell at them, I'm not saying everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm saying the way the game has changed. Guys now, don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Do you? They don't look at it like that anymore.
You don't see coaches like Lou Holtz grabbing them by the face mask and screaming at them.
You'll lose your job.
You get beat up.
You'll lose your job.
It's a different time.
If that kid swing on you, you'll be the one in the portal.
Yeah,
get transferred.
but it's not the same. Guys don't reciprocate that, the same as they used to. Right, we saw last night Tom Brady. He kind of laid it to his receivers a little bit, right? Like, and he was saying to some of those younger guys,
"Man, you ain't." Oh, did you? But I'm like, wow. Go ahead on. I'm sorry.
I mean,
but
but that's Jacoby Myers, right? The 6th round pick, and that's the Mohamed Sanu, the new guy. Whatever. But those guys, they ain't gonna buck Tom Brady because you buck Tom Brady in that place.
You buck yourself on out of the job.
You be finding a new address, but there is. That way of doing things is not the way. Guys aren't receptive to that type of treatment anymore.
Mm-hmm. So how do you lead then? How do you fill that void?
Like he just said. You lead by just doing your job and patting people on the back.
Come on, guys. We're going to go do this. Let's go do this.
Let me tell you something. It goes all the way up to the top. Did you see Robert Kraft and either his son or the president? You saw at the end of that game how everything around them was empty. It's like nobody wants to be around the big dogs when things ain't going right.
Mm-hmm.
They just like, oh, let me slip away because I hate for him to take his anger out on me.
Find something that I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. So, I'm serious. It's amazing. That's a great question, and that's a great answer because Randy White, the little time I was with him, he would like, come on, fellas. He'd be like, Randy had a funny voice, come on, fellas, and da-da-da. But, the biggest thing was, boy, he'd go out there and make a hell of a play. He would go out there and make a hell of a play, like hit somebody in the backfield for loss. And when Randy hit you, it was ugly because he just crushed you. And that's how he would make plays, man. That's how he would get the team going, You got to make plays. And then when you make plays, guys, and I keep going back to Michael Irvin, but the most dangerous pass in the NFL is the slant. 5 yards and into it. A big old linebacker or some ball-hawking safety, depending on how flat you get with it. And Mike Irvin, like, I'm ready. All of a sudden, Troy hit him with that. Mike. So a guy like me is like, man, I gotta make sure I do something better than this where we can get Mike on a longer route, so he won't get knocked out.
And also, you look at this squad. I think the second or third youngest team in the National Football League.
Yeah,
all these guys are the same age. There's no real veteran leadership in here. These guys are all 25, 26, 27. And Jason, he's 35, 36.
An LP.
Right?
That's what
I'm saying. LP is not talking to nobody. He's not saying anything.
He do his job and go back home.
And Witten's almost the outcast. You're the old man in the room, bro.
They're not going to listen to him.
Like, it's like you about to be, like, it's, and that's the thing. When Witten stepped away, you gave up all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gave up all of that authority, all of that everything. Because now when you come back, they look at you like, old man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Sean Lee.
Because they had success.
And so those are the two, think about it, LP, Jason Witten, Sean Lee are the veteran guys in there. All the rest of the guys are relatively the same age between
4 and 5 years of each other.
Yeah,
right?
so they're like, don't yell at me, bro. No, don't yell at me.
You ain't been there either.
Yeah.
You got that lazy to roll. Anyway,
let's go back to the. Oh,
let me say this.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you have a young team, that's when your head coach got to be the face. Jimmy Johnson just in 2 years got all of the guys that was like 30 years, they were gone. 30 years and older were gone. Me and Tui was the oldest dudes. And Jimmy was the face.
What do you mean by the face?
Did nothing move without Jimmy. Kind of like what that man doing in New England. Then nothing moved. Nothing moved. If
he was the locker room leadership.
Yes, sir. And if you talking about doing something outside of football, and he got wind of it, he was gonna meet with you and ask you, okay, where you trying to go with this? What are you trying to do? And is it gonna pay you more than football? Because as soon as I feel like this ain't number one, you gonna be doing what you.
I don't want to keep bringing Bill and the Patriots into this thing.
I ain't being honest.
But you will.
But I am.
Till the end of the year.
I don't want to keep bringing this up in here. But they do this, like, that's how they function in New England. It's, okay, if you have autograph signings, shows and all that has to be approved by Bill Belichick. Especially during the season. And he'll tell you, when we break training camp, it's all about football.
That's over, right?
So if it ain't been on my desk about an approved radio show, TV show, appearances, and all that kind of crazy stuff, he's saying, because if you spending time doing that,
it's taken away from football.
It's taken away from football. And he's like, we got a limited amount of time to get a maximum amount of effort out of you. And so he's like, listen, and he coached Gronk.
Yeah,
you notice.
You see what he's doing now.
But you notice Gronk, you never, ever, ever heard anything that Gronk was doing from September to February. Now, once it was all said and done, Gronk let loose. That wasn't no football then. But go back and look. September to February, you ain't hearing nothing. And nobody parties it or is a media like Gronk. No signings, no radio shows, no anything. And that all had to be approved by Bill Belichick because of that very same reason. Because if you're focusing on that, that means football is not the priority.
Gary, but it's a new, and see, like you said, it's a new era, though. I mean, guys coming into football and teams help promote that. So, yeah, so teams help promote that. So, depending on where you're going, that's just a part of the makeup, man. So
social media.
Dak made $12 million off the field this year.
Damn.
And so people feel like he shouldn't get paid.
He made $12 million off the field. Football, in essence, football is his side gig.
Yeah. Football gave him the platform to go make money.
Yeah.
He made more money off the field than he did on it. Now that will change, but even once he makes that amount of money, the other money that he was making off the field, that's going to go up.
Yeah. Gary, South Carolina, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Great. How are you?
Please bear with me. This is my first time calling in.
He's from South Carolina.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. You're welcome. Guys, I've been a Cowboys fan for 53 years. Since I was 7 years old. Back in the day when Landry coached, he was a no-nonsense coach, but he didn't let the fans see that. You had your players that stepped up. I remember the Cowboys were 5-4. Landry went in the locker room after the game. They lost, and Landry started crying. And I don't know what happened. These guys ripped off, I think, 8-9 games in a row and went to the Super Bowl and won. Beat Miami 24-3.
I remember that game.
Jimmy Johnson's teams. Nate, you, Stepnoski, Biggie.
Yeah.
Y'all set a pace. Y'all hit and kept going. These guys, they're good, they're talented, but they're too finesse. They don't stay on the blocks. They let guys Zeke get through the line, they stop blocking. I've seen some of them go downfield and stay on their blocks, only a few times. But we've got the players on offense to take us all the way. But these guys got to get mean, our offensive line. They're not mean enough like you guys used to be.
Thanks for the call, Gary. What do you say, Kurt?
Nothing. I just kind of agreed. Yeah.
Oh, you don't think they're mean enough?
Well, I think that's being called into question a little bit. I don't know if means I'd use that word. Physical.
Have they lost any physicality? Were they more physical when they first kind of came on this team?
Father Time waits on no one. And when you begin to have chinks in your armor where you kind of got a knee here, but you're playing this way, all of a sudden you got a hip, and all of a sudden you got a back, and before you know it, you beat up. and you beat up beyond repair. But this is the deal. What's behind you, you can get both your legs chopped off, and what's behind you can't do what you do, even when you beat up.
So a 80% starter is better than a 100% backup right now.
Yeah,
it's always been that way, though.
But yeah, that's never changed.
That's
never
been that way the last 8 years,
100 years.
Not for us.
100
Not when
years.
I played.
When you played, your backups were as good as you.
Kevin Gogan was our backup. John Geese was our backup. They all started 16 games and went to Super Bowls. So yes, we went and got Big Baby, Derek Kennard. Yes, we had the other guy. Played with the Colts forever with Eric Dickerson. I can't think of the older gentleman. Oh, yeah. A Pro Bowler. Yeah. Yes. But what were emphatic or pathetic? Yes. We had like 8 guys that were bulldogs, and we could lock them in for 16 games.
That's why you guys were Super Bowl winners. So that was the exception.
That's why you were 3 and 4.
But now you asked me.
You got 3 and 4.
I had to defend mine. You know what I'm saying?
That's why y'all got 3 and 4 right there.
Yeah. So now I'm not saying every team had that, but what is the biggest letdown in the whole NFL during training camp? And Shannon have heard Will McClay say that. It's 2 things we wish we could get in here. That's a backup quarterback, or some linemen. You hear it every year. Man, we can't find Man, I was watching the game the other day, man, and I'm watching Washington State in Washington. And I'm looking at the offensive line like, boy, all them dudes stiff. Can't none of them move. They go 5 feet and fall on the ground. I'm like, it's sad. And so offensive linemen, which we took for granted 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you can't even find it. You can't even find it. Great teams like Notre Dame, Alabama used to just produce them like there was water. Can't even find them.
Is that because their college plays a little different game than
a holding game, and they don't get called as much in college.
Well, they don't play. Most teams don't play that power.
No, I'm talking about passing.
Yeah,
just the basic pass. The run blocking would get you in the NFL. The pass blocking would keep you in the NFL because that's what they do the most of.
Okay.
But guys rather reach now than use their feet. They rather punch and grab and try to hold on. But in the NFL, these dudes so fat, they ain't letting you grab them. I ain't letting you grab me. So now it come down to your feet. That's what Fleming don't have. Fleming don't have no feet, none whatsoever. But he the best. He the best we got over there as the backup.
Let's go back to the phones. Rob in Las Vegas. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Hey, this is what happens when you used to have a head coach who was drinking Heineken and guaranteeing wins on national radio, to now a head coach who's probably drinking tea and playing Scrabble. I mean, even your owner was crying after the game on Thursday. I mean, this team has just lost its edge. We were talking about show dogs. No play emphasized that more than on a quarterback sneak. The guy drops the ball and your high-priced linebacker is watching him and never touches him. I mean, the only thing missing on his team is attitude. Even your wild child running back now looks like a hippie. He's got nose rings out the yin-yang, his hair, and he even is soft-spoken now because he got paid. I mean, there is nobody on this team, like Jesse was saying, you have no dogs. You have a guy that's a renter player calling everybody out. They're going to look at him and like, dude, you ain't going to be here in a few games. I mean, it's embarrassing. And as a fan of 45 years, it really is. I got to blame Jerry. And we talk about players when they get paid, they get comfortable. What about an owner who goes from $140 million to $5.5 billion and hasn't done anything in 23 years? But he wants to be the John Madden coach. He doesn't want to coach that, like Jimmy. He would go tell Jimmy something. Jimmy's like, oh, yeah, okay, thanks. And he'd walk away and be like, come on, I'm not listening to him. Well, Jason Garrett listens. And that's why until we get that coach, a dog coach, we won't have a dog team.
Thanks for the call, Rob.
It's a little harsh, but thanks for the call.
It was harsh.
He was hard, man.
He's fed up.
23 years of misery for that guy.
He's fed up.
Pent up. He's sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I think it's.
But y'all keep showing up to the games. Y'all keep tuning in. I mean, the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving had 35 million viewers, one of the highest rated games in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what it was. What was the numbers at the beginning of the game as far as attendance? Probably another 90-something thousand people were there again.
Mm-hmm.
Merchandise is still going through the roof. They did the who dat the who dak. I mean what's the Zeke shirt that they had? What did they have?
The Zeke who.
The Zeke who?
Yeah.
$150,000 off T-shirts, right? All the proceeds went to Salvation Army, right? They gave him a check last week for $150,000?
Mm-hmm.
I think you can.
And one T-shirt.
I think as a fan, you can deal with a lot of stuff if you're winning. But things that bother you, you can overlook. But whenever you're struggling, things that bother you start coming out. And, you know, when Dez was here and you were losing, it was a problem because he was too passionate and too emotional. Now it's a problem you don't have anybody like Dez that's screaming and yelling on the sideline. So I think it's just a byproduct of everybody's frustrated. The players are,
head coaches,
his
ownership, members of his staff,
fans. Yeah. Hell, we're frustrated. I mean,
I'm not.
I am. It's hard to come in here after that.
What the?
It's. I mean, it's as
I'm just saying we run off this 4-0, it'll be all right.
It's fine, and I think
this 4-0 will make you all right.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Nate. What have they done to make you think that they're going to win 4 games in a row?
All they got to win is 2. One
it's
of them
still
going to
come. I've been saying it since week 2. It's still going to come down to the last game of the season.
The Eagles and Redskins are fine.
Philadelphia has already packed it in.
No, they haven't played us yet. Again.
Oh, and by the way, the Rams, all of a sudden, their offense just came alive.
Yeah.
400 yards.
500.
You better beat the Eagles and Redskins.
Did they win?
I'm telling you what's going to happen.
Did they win?
They
the
are
Rams?
good.
The Rams won against who?
I forgot who they beat.
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals, yeah.
The Cowboys are going to beat Chicago. They're going to lose to the Rams, and then it's all going to come down to those last 2 games of the year.
Nobody deserves to win this division. I mean, they could.
It's a bad.
They win the last
my thing
2.
is I don't even care. Like, let them win it. But what are we going to do in the playoffs? Just getting into that's not enough for me. Just getting into the playoffs is not enough.
Getting into the playoffs with a mediocre record.
Well, there's the New York Giants. They were 6-6.
They had a dominant defense.
7-7.
Show me. They had a dominant defense.
I hope. Show me. I don't want to go to Mexico.
7-7. Then they went on a super great run.
We're going to go on a super great run to commercials, and we're going to come back on Hanging with the Boys.
Man.
The Cowboys Way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys Way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Copyright 2019, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience AT&T Stadium's exclusive VIP Owners Club. Also, tour the star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheered.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS 1 score September 2019.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Back to Hangin Hangin' with the Boys.
Shock the world.
Bad. You know what? Your kids could appear in the next Super Bowl commercial. The NFL is looking for the next generation of superstars. To enter, create a video that highlights your kids' awesome football moves. All videos must be entered by December 5th. To enter and for more info, visit NFLnext100.com. Dion, your boy Dion, is the spokesperson for that giveaway that they're doing.
Yes, sir.
40-1.
40 Cowboys are 40-1 odds according to.
Now, how does that work? I get $40 for every dollar I bet?
Yeah, so if you bet $10, you win $400 if they win the Super Bowl. You bet $100, you win $4,000.
Philly's 80-1.
Jelly beans, guys.
Who's
jelly beans?
What'd you say? 80-1. Who is Philly?
Philly, Tennessee, Dallas, and Buffalo.
So if I drop 1,000,
you would win 40,000 if they won.
I tell it right here, man.
let's go, Cowboys. Let's go. I need a quick 40. Let's go. What's up, Nate? What's up? Let's go half. Let's go half.
You know why?
No.
You know why them buildings are so big in Vegas and nice, right?
Hold on, Shannon.
Hey, that's against my Christian beliefs.
Oh, my goodness.
But let me say this.
You don't want to go half with me?
The Cowboys going to run for it. No.
40-1 for every dollar, every jelly bean you wager, you win 40 jelly beans.
Okay.
So you wager 1,000 jelly beans, you would win 40 of those 1,000 jelly beans, which would be 40,000.
I shouldn't doubt you. I apologize.
You know his mind work with it.
I like sugar. I'm trying to get 40,000 jelly beans, Nate.
You go on and get it, man, because the star will prevail, baby.
I need 40,000.
Right now, the odds are Baltimore at 3-1, New England and New Orleans both 4-1, KC and San Fran at 8-1, Seattle 10-1, Minnesota 14-1, Green Bay 16-1, and Houston 20-1. Dallas and Buffalo are at 40-1. Speaking of, that's going to be a hell of a game tonight, man. Seattle, Minnesota.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Those are two of Nate's pet cats, two pet coaches,
Who
too.
you rooting for over there?
I'm going for my boy, Pete Carroll. It's December.
Going with Seattle?
He's one of the better coaches in December.
Where's that game at? Do y'all know?
In Seattle,
It's in
baby.
Seattle. Ooh, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to watch that.
I wonder where they put any pressure on Kurt. Is that his name? The quarterback?
Kirk Cousins?
Yeah. I wonder where they put any pressure on.
They're going to rush 3 and sit back. let the game come to them.
I bet you they want to estimate Dalvin Cook. I promise you. Dalvin, is it? What is it, Jesse? How you pronounce it?
Dalvin.
That's
your
Cook.
guy. That's your boy.
They want to estimate Mr. Florida State.
Jesse, you brought up the word panic earlier when it came to the Buffalo game. What did you mean by they panicked?
I should say they begin to press. Dak I think he was the one, and they followed his lead. Everyone began to press. Like his throws he was rushing his throws. Like they were trying to find the 14-point touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was like, this next play will get us right back. And it was just, everyone was pressing. Everyone was, instead of just going ahead, the play calling was pressing, the quarterback was pressing, receivers were pressing. Everyone was just pressing, trying to make that next play. Like that play was going to be enough points to get them back in the game.
Yeah.
Instead of just playing your game and working yourself back into it, it just seems like it was a press. Everything was a press. Everything was like, let's go. Come on. And it just, they looked out of sorts.
I feel, and I don't have any numbers to back this up, but there's been a couple of games this year. I think the Jets were one. This one was one. And I feel like there's another game that I feel like they're getting offensively out of their game plan too quick, and they're, like you said, they're pressing. They feel like they're out of it too early, and now I got to make it all back up before the third quarter when you don't just stick with grinding it out on the running game, short dink and dunk passes. You're trying to get too much.
Hit them over the top. I mean,
do y'all feel that way through some of these games this season? That it's just you're trying to do too much too fast instead of just being – because I always feel like this team's always just grinded it out, almost to a fault. We're going to run the ball. We're down 3 touchdowns. We're going to keep running. Now I feel like they've almost gone the other way with it sometimes.
I can't put my finger on it. Like I say, I threw numbers out there. What I think at the end of the day, when I look up at guys' touches, I threw that out there. But first time play caller with a team that's supposed to be quote-unquote Super Bowl ready. Isn't that asking for a lot? And this ain't a veteran play caller. Now, if they would have brought in Norv Turner or somebody like that, I'd have been like, yeah, really. But they brought in a kid that –
yeah, but Jerry knew that in the spring when they hired him.
Yeah,
his exact words were, "We're not hiring him for his experience."
Mm-hmm.
So that's the man. He said that.
I agree.
So what did you expect? Like
maybe he expected that the players would be supreme. The players would play supremely, but they haven't. So guess what? You do need a guy. I ain't talking about a guy like the one that just left here before him that's just dead stale. But you do need a guy that, because Kellum, I think next year, which this year will be gone and wasted if it don't change dramatically. Now next year we're like, oh, man, yeah, okay. Hey, wow, nice. You know what I'm saying?
Thought the players could make up for his mistakes.
Like the 49ers did with Jimmy G the first 8 or 9 games. They were winning games, and Coach Shanahan was coaching and getting past his quarterback. Now his quarterback's starting to click with Sanders. He's starting to click, man. So it happens. But we never had nothing on this team that out of the 3 phases of the game, we never had nothing that was dominant.
What's the one thing this team has always been? They've always been in games late in the game, 3 points, within a touchdown. They've always had a chance to either win or lose the game at the end of the game. This year's not like that. This year you're losing, like you're getting beat. And fans used to get aggravated because, they used to blame coaching because you would only lose by 1 point or you would only lose by 3. This year when you're getting beat, you're getting beat. Is there a difference this year? Is it just because you've always been competitive? You've always been in every game
never had a
until
finisher.
this year.
But you never had a finisher. You never had a finisher. And now the finishers are way – now – and one thing I always took into account, Jesse, and you brothers in here, is I always took strength of schedule. But for some reason this year, I'm like, even though we got a first-place schedule and we're going to be playing some pretty good teams, we should have it. But that's when I thought that Amari would be that finisher. I thought Dak would be a little bit better and helping Amari be that finisher and that Zeke would be a finisher. And I always counted somehow, some way that this offensive line would play great. And because, I can admit when I'm wrong, 30 points may not even be enough. I'm serious, 30 points, but just say 30 points. Remember you said that? Mm-hmm. 30 points may not even be enough because teams do not fear us at all. You got to have some amount of fear. If you watched the game last night, took a deep breath. Texas say, finally we won. And almost beat them. New England almost beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Texas took a deep breath between the 5 minutes left and 50 seconds left in the game. They said, okay, we won. And all of a sudden the game was in how many points? Within 6-7 points. Mm-hmm. Like that. So, but we don't have those guys. For whatever reason you want to think of as a fan or a member of this team, we don't have those guys. Those never say guys that can finish games. If they get within striking distance,
they've come close. I mean, they've had these late rallies that don't amount to anything. The Jets, the Vikings.
I hate to sound like Jesse.
Like you said, they just didn't finish.
Please don't. Like we only need one of them on the show.
Do you know how much it takes to come back? The amount of energy,
emotional energy.
Well, and that's kind of a point I wanted to make, guys, is the fact that is it really the lack of finishing or is it lack of starting? I know this game is a little bit of an outlier with the early score and the drive down the field to open things out, but it's either you pick one or the other. You either start fast or you finish fast, and sometimes, most of the time, that's going to hurt you.
Caden, your voice has changed.
No, you start fast and you finish strong. That's what San Francisco does. That's what Baltimore does. That's what
it's not what
Seattle
Dallas has
been doing for years.
What changed against the Bills? Because they got off to such a good start, and then they couldn't adjust when the Bills adjusted?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. You want to know what physical mean? You want to know what I'm tougher than you mean? Watch that game. They were just meaner, tougher, and physical.
If you watch some of the Bills highlights, like at the end of the game from one of their websites, there's players on the sideline saying they ain't built like us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shaq Lawson, the guy, they ain't built like us. They ain't built like us. And that's just basically me. They ain't as tough as us. Like we coming at you with some ish. As I kept saying, they ain't built like us. They had a different level of physicalness, aggressiveness, and they just wasn't built like that.
Don't they have a young team?
I'm not sure.
They have a young team. Yes, they do. They have a young team. Now, the dude who takes it up for them is the running back.
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore makes it go up 4 grades, 4 age levels, because he's 80 years old. But they have a young team. Shaq Lawson's a second-year player. Ed Oliver is a first-year player.
Allen was 2 years.
Cole Beasley is one of the oldest guys on the team. What I'm trying to say is they coach has took a hold of their team. Sean McDermott is his name. Has took a hold of their team. I remember when they called a time out. When they called a time right before the half of coming into the third quarter, they called an untimely timeout, and they showed the camera on this dude. It's like, whoa.
I tell you, if you couldn't tell on TV, every one of their running backs and receivers is all my size. Those dudes are like 5'7",
but they
5'6",
and they rocks, and they rock. You see how they rock. If you'd have went in their locker room, you'd probably been seeing some mini rocks walking around. I'm serious, man. Just I thought I was the only one to notice that. Them guys literally on the sideline like they ain't built like us. Them dudes like they ain't tougher than us. And when that quarterback picked that ball up off that ground,
we couldn't even smack the ball out of his hand.
Jones went to try to snatch that ball out of his hand. He almost threw Jones across the field. I said, wow.
He put the ball out there, leaned over, and they were trying to smack it. I said, that grip on that dog hand, that impressed me more than the play. I said, he held on to the ball, and Jalen was trying to smack it out of his hand. I said, I'm joking, man.
Oh, fellas, we got to go.
Look, watch this.
There it is right there.
Watch this.
Look,
look, he almost threw 31 across the.
Well, look, see, look at that. Look at that. That's attitude, right here, man.
Watch it right here. Took it from.
That was a smart play, man. Just a heads-up play.
Ooh,
Byron said, I got it. He said, nope.
I'm telling you, that's what got me just out of all of that. I'm like, he almost threw Byron, a 220-pound man.
Suplexed, belly to back suplex. Remember that? WWE
You gotta be like, wow.
All right, tomorrow, Cowboys, Bears. Then we go on the road Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll be back Friday.
On the road again.
Kurt, thanks for being here, man.
I tell you what, man. Before we go out there, let me say this, man.
Say something.
Let me say this right here, man.
Say it.
When the Cowboys run off these 4 games, I'm looking at each one of y'all in the eye.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking at you.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking in your side of your long
Nate,
hair.
if you really believe that, look me in the eye when you say that. I am the captain now. If you really believe
we
that.
run off 4 games straight.
What?
Captain America.
You gonna shave your head?
Captain America be back to life.
Kurt, would you shave your head if they run for
I'll shave everything off.
Kurt's like, hell no. You know how long it took me to grow this back?
Too cold now.
We're going to hold Kurt down. If they run 4 off, we holding Kurt down.
Jesse, good seeing you, man. See you tomorrow. Nate, thanks for bringing it. Kyle.
Man, they don't even believe me.
Good having you back,
why
man.
y'all don't believe me when I'm telling y'all it's going to be 4?
Caden, I'm so glad you don't have anything to the show this week.
Kyle, I'm glad you're going to change our luck 4 in a row. All
right, here we go. Tomorrow, hanging with the boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,